low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles from Brian Giles MTG. And today, we're going to talk about Brothers War's top 10 instants and sorceries. So, we're going to jump right into this. Starting off at number 10, we have Unleash Shell. 2 red and 3 colorless for an instant that reads, Unleash Shell deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker and 2 damage to that permanent's controller. Please excuse my coughing. That's really powerful. Not only do you take out most planeswalkers, but you do 2 damage to the creatures or planeswalkers controller. For 5 mana, that's good value. It probably will see some play in burn decks for sure. So next up, I gotta scroll up. We have Kayla's Command. There's 2 white and 1. You get to choose 2 of these. Create a 2/2 colorless construct artifact creature token. Or put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. It gains double strike until end of turn. Or search your library for a basic plains card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. Or gain 2 life and scry 2. Those are some pretty powerful effects for 3 mana. I'm not going to lie, that's definitely pretty good. I mean, just some of these alone is worth, one of these abilities alone is worth the 3 mana you pay, but you get to choose 2 of them. So that is pretty dope. So next up we have Lauren's Escape at number 8. Lauren's Escape is 1 white mana. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible till end of turn and scry 1. That is super powerful. For 1 white mana, you get hexproof and indestructible and some scry, and it's not just a creature, it's either an artifact or a creature. So you can protect your artifacts and your creatures. And for 1 white mana, that's super value there. I'm not going to lie. So next up is, at number 7, is Defabricate. 1 blue and 1. You get to choose 1. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. If a spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard. Or you can counter target activated or triggered ability. That is a super powerful counter spell for 2 mana. And you get a good choice. You can counter activated or triggered ability, or you can counter an artifact or enchantment spell. That's that's probably gonna ruin some of those enchantment decks you see that come out of Kamigawa. That's so that's absolutely fun. So at number 6, we have Scatter Ray. One blue and one for an instant that reads counter target artifact or creature spell unless its controller pays 4 colorless. Yeah, you want to pay for that? You're gonna pay a lot for that. So that is pretty. That is probably one of the most powerful counter spells I have seen. So that's why it's at my number 6. So next up at number 5 is Diabolic Intent. One black and one for sorcery that reads as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a card, then put that card into your hand and shuffle. So a tutor, and the only reason it's further down the list is because you do have to pay that sacrifice a creature to get that tutor thing. But it's good value. Any kind of tutor is absolutely powerful, powerful, powerful. So next up we have at number 5 is Diabolic and excuse me, number 4. At number 4 we have Mishra's Command. So Mishra's Command is 1 red and X. For a sorcery that reads choose 2. Choose target player. They may discard up to X cards, then they draw a card for each card discarded this way. Or the spell deals X damage to target creature, or the spell deals X damage to target planeswalker, or target creature gets plus X plus 0 and gains haste until end of turn. So a command. This is a command that you can adjust to whatever you need. And it allows you to take out bigger, bigger planeswalkers, bigger creatures. You can do kind of like a Wheel of Fortune for yourself, or if you pair this with something like something that damages characters for cards they draw. That is pretty like Shieldred. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Or you can and you get to choose 2 of these. So basically, you get directed fireballs, or you can do kind of a Wheel of Fortune, or you can boost up a creature and give it haste, which is super, super dope. So next up, at number 3, is Awaken the Woods. For 2 green and X, you get a sorcery that reads, create X/1/1 green forest dryad land creature token. So I did get clarification on this, and these tokens are actually considered lands. So you can tap them for green mana. So this thing can get out of pocket, and if you're playing with any of the green artifacts that I spoke of in my, like root wire amalgam, or stuff like Mask of the Jade Crafter, those things can get out of hand like nobody's business. It is super dope, super powerful, super financially valuable. And that's why it ranks at number 3 on my list. So next up, at number 2, we have Gix's Command. 2 red and 3 colorless for a sorcery that reads, choose 2. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 creature. It gains lifelink until end of turn. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Or each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control. I mean, for what you're paying, you get good value. You can get some creatures with some extra +1/+1 counters, and they gain lifelink. That's worth 5 mana. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. A little expensive for 5 mana, but good removal for weenies. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. That's good value for 5 mana. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power. So you can take out the biggest creature and all their weenie creatures. Or you can, return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand and put some +1/+1 counter, or any combination of any 2 of those. It's still really powerful, really worth combined worth the 5 mana that you're paying to do that. Was probably one of the most powerful of the commands. So finally, at number 1, what I have said, in my view, my review of the cards, originally, this is the most powerful card I have seen in Magic in Gaia's Gift. For 1 green and 1, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains reach, trample, hexproof, and indestructible until end of turn. You're screwed every way. I mean, you can You can use it as any kind of defense. You can use it for attack because it gets trample. This card is going to be, if you're playing green, this is an automatic include as a 4 of in every green deck you play, as long as this is in standard and wherever else you can play this. This thing is nutty. It is straight bananas crazy. So that's my top 10 instants and sorceries for the Brothers' War. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hoo-ha!